My name is Emma and I am one of the international student recruitment team members of Surrey. So thank you for joining me this afternoon. I hope everything is going well for you and your family at home at the moment. I'm actually broadcasting to you from one of the university campuses today because that's actually where I live. So I will touch on that a little bit more later on. The format for this afternoon will be me showing you a short video, which was done and filmed by one of our previous international students at the university. Then I'll go into a short presentation which will hopefully answer a lot of the questions that you have. And that will then lead into a short Q&A session where I'll be going through the question box that you will hopefully see on your screen and answering any questions that haven't already been covered in either the video or the presentation. So hopefully you can all familiarise yourselves with the question and chat box on your screen at the moment. Like I said, any questions, please post them in the question box, and at the end of the presentation, I will go through them and make sure I've answered all that I can. Moving on from today, lots of you will probably have follow-up questions. Please don't worry if not everything is covered in the next 45 minutes. Simply, I will give you my email address at the end and you can contact me directly moving forwards. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is screen share and we'll show you a video that has been filmed by one of our previous international students.
I was born in basically Silicon Valley in California. Kind of grew up surrounded by a lot of tech.
I actually have a photograph. She sat at one of my huge computers as she was very young. We used to do a lot of gaming together. Us against the evil aliens. She's always thought about, well, how could she improve the game?
I probably shouldn't have been playing Halo at like the prime age of 5, but from there, like playing games with my dad, that's sort of how I got interested in technology. I was always going to go to university. Surrey was definitely the one that like ticked the boxes for me. I kind of always knew that this was the university that I wanted to go to. It was a family affair dropping Holly off at uni. It was definitely emotional for everyone.
You know, it's a long way. I'm sure there were some tears, honestly.
I was nervous, as kind of to be expected, but I was really ready to go by the time my flight kind of rolled around. Guildford is very well located. There's lots of countryside around to take walks in. Half an hour later, you're suddenly in Waterloo with Zone 1 London at your disposal. I lived on campus for the first year. Surrey is very international, and so I have met some of like the most incredible people from all over the world. Learned so much about like myself and what life in England is like from them. We're still really, really close friends. People do love to have a good night out at Surrey, and it's a nice way for us all to get together and as just students all in one place. One of the big reasons why I wanted to come to the UK was because of the placement year.
It offers the student 1 year of employment where they learn a new set of skills and really augments what they learn during their studies.
The university provided lots of assistance and making sure that we were going to companies that would take care of us and we have access still to the resources of the career service.
Microsoft has a large recruiting team that have worked closely with Surrey in the past. Holly is extremely energetic and passionate, which is definitely what we look for in our placement students. She came in and she was already great with people and great as a member of the team.
The day I got my offer was probably one of like the best days of my life. Being able to sort of have the validation that the work that I did was good and good enough for Microsoft, it was great for me. I'd always looked up at the cathedral being like, one day I'm going to graduate there. And so to finally actually walk in the building and grab my certificate, it was good to finally celebrate kind of like the end of an era in a way. But I knew it was time to sort of move on and get on with my career day one.
So now in my full-time position at Microsoft, I work on Cortana for Windows and Xbox.
Holly is truly customer focused. She loves this company and she is determined to make sure every line of code we write makes her proud to work here.
She's very diligent, takes her responsibilities very seriously. She's great to work with as well.
What drives Holly is she wants to be all of our bosses one day and she will not stop until she gets there.
I do volunteering where I help teach female students to program for the first time. I think they walk away feeling empowered that they could create change in the world. Every day I aim to try to be a positive representation of my gender and all that we can accomplish. I hope that this will be where I have a lasting impact on the world.
I can honestly say it was one of the best decisions I could have made to go to Surrey, because it's gotten me to exactly where I wanted to be in my life.
Okay, so I'm glad some of you confirmed that you could hear and see that video clearly. And I think in many ways it gets me quite emotional when I watch that video from Holly, who now works full-time for Microsoft. It covers her journey from choosing to come to the university as an international student, making the decision to come and live and study in the UK, and then goes through her journey onto her placement year and touches upon some of the support that the university offers students as they take that year of work experience, and then really demonstrates how, as an international student, the University of Surrey can help you in kind of giving you the skills and the employability that you need to be able to thrive in your future career. So I'm going to move on to the presentation that we have. If you can start to put any questions you have in the question box or the chat box that I know some of you are commenting in already, that will be brilliant, and then I can make sure I answer them by the end of this presentation. Okay. So this just briefly talks about why some of our current international students have chosen the University of Surrey. So these 3 students are all our current student ambassadors, a role that would be available to you as a student at the university. And comments include the vibe of the small town, but the fact that many international students choose to come here, and how close it is to the capital city. Sadna, who studied postgrad level, loves the fact that it offered a unique course that really ticks all the boxes for her. And Cheryl came specifically because of the placement year and the opportunities that it gave her. So, whereabouts is the University of Surrey in the UK? So we are in the southeast of England. So you can hopefully see the blue bullseye logo and where it says Guildford at the bottom of that map of the UK. The kind of enlarged map on the right-hand side will show you how close we are to London and both to Gatwick and Heathrow airports. So I come to Turkey around 2 to 4 times a year at the moment, and it takes me around half an hour in the car to get to Heathrow airport and a direct flight to Istanbul from there. Now, what I also love about the video that I showed you a short while ago is the fact that you see so much of the campus. So the map you can kind of see on the screen at the moment is our main Stag Hill campus. And this is home to half our accommodation and also all of our academic buildings. So for the vast majority of you, Stag Hill is where you'd be on a Monday to Friday basis for your lectures, your seminars, your lab time, and your workshops. It's home to our library, to the Students' Union, and to a lot of our academic and wellbeing support services. You can see the lake where you're able to have barbecues. There's a festival there for students in the summer, and it's a gorgeous environment to be in and to take a break from your classes. The bus route is mentioned on here. The buses in Guildford go directly through both campuses onto the train station and the town centre. So when you're looking to get around both the town and the university campuses, you can choose to walk, cycle, or get the bus, whatever you prefer. Manor Park is where I'm speaking to you from today. As I'm a residential warden on campus, so you can see there that you have the School of Veterinary Medicine is based on Manor Park. It's also home to our sports park and about 9 different playing fields, which makes for a beautiful environment. It does have a kind of a bar, restaurant, social space. And the sports park also has a coffee shop and a sports bar located within it. So you're good for your kind of immediate food and drink requirements. I've mentioned both Stag Hill and Manor Park. So Stag Hill, the main campus where most of your classes will be. Manor Park is our second campus, home to the sports park and the School of Veterinary Medicine. Each of those campuses also have around 3,000 of our student rooms of our accommodation on them. Hazel Farm, there in the middle, is a third accommodation only campus. And it's home to our lower band, so our kind of bottom end of our accommodation. Guildford, probably not a name that you necessarily know or knew before you started researching the University of Surrey. But it's an old market town, but it's a university town, home to thousands of students from all around the world. We have all of the kind of leisure facilities, the shops, the restaurants that you would hope to find in any town that you were to live in. And then, as we've mentioned, half an hour on the train and you're directly in central London with everything that a big city has to offer. So, go through quickly the subjects and the faculties that we have at the University of Surrey. So firstly is the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences. Subjects such as law, the Guildford School of Acting, politics and criminology, business management, economics, and hospitality, events and tourism management. Then we have the Faculty of Engineering and Physical Sciences. So from automotive and aerospace engineering, biomedical, chemical, mechanical, electronic, and other subjects such as physics, mathematics, and chemistry, and not forgetting, of course, computer science. And then thirdly, our School of Health and Medical Sciences, home to nutrition, food science and dietetics, veterinary medicine, the health sciences and the biosciences courses that we offer. So, professional training placements, Global Graduate Award, and study abroad option, 3 key areas of life at the university that I'll mention to you now. So I'll just go back onto that screen for you. Professional training placements, more information will come up about that shortly. Holly spoke about it in her video. This is a sandwich year, so a year out of studying between the second and third years of your undergraduate degree, where you can choose a placement, maybe paid, it may not, either in the UK or somewhere else around the world. We have around 2,500 placement partners, so industry links in all kinds of sectors and walks of life. And this gives you a fantastic chance to get a year's worth of work experience and a real advantage, a competitive advantage over students from all other universities across the country. The Global Graduate Award, that allows you to learn an additional language and to be accredited for it, to be recognised as a qualification in one of 12 or so languages currently on offer. And if you choose to study an additional language through this award scheme, it will be recognised on your degree certificate when you graduate and is recognised by employers. And the study abroad scheme. So you can also choose to go to another university somewhere around the world. Majority are in Europe, some are in Australia or America. And this allows you to spend a semester out of your degree abroad and continuing to learn, but in a different environment, to gain new experiences and then to return to the University of Surrey to carry on with your education. Briefly on the professional training placement, some of our postgraduate master's courses do also offer this placement year option, either as one semester or as an additional full year as a placement. So please do ask me if you have any questions about the placement year as a postgraduate student. So as I mentioned briefly already, the professional training placement, you will have a dedicated tutor who will come and visit you wherever you are around the world to make sure that you are thriving. And these are some of the more recognisable names, most well-known employers that we are currently working with. Career support. So do we help you find a placement? Do we help you find a job whilst you're at university or once you graduate? So in many ways, yes, we do. We have CV, application and interview support. So there'll be workshops where you can get advice on completing your CV, on completing an application form and to practice your interview technique. You can also attend careers fairs where some of the thousands of employers we have links with come onto the university and you get a chance to meet them and make a great first impression. And then we have a company on campus called Unitemps who can help you find part-time work whilst you are a student at the university. So what kind of support do we offer you whilst you're studying? Wellbeing is a key topic at the moment, and rightly so. We have an on-campus counselling service and a centre for wellbeing that is currently operating online, so we're still giving all of our students that support. We have 24-hour security on all of our campuses and residential wardens who live on site and are always available for assistance. My Surrey Hive is our drop-in centre, our one-stop shop if you have any questions on a day-to-day basis. We have personal tutors for all students and a chaplaincy for around 7 different faiths. So you can certainly continue to practice your faith on a daily basis whilst at university. Clubs and societies. We want you to have fun with us as well as getting an incredibly well-valued degree. So we have around 100 or so societies and about 40 or so different sports clubs. And I can give you the link to find out exactly what is on offer if that's of interest to you. So please do, when you come to the university, join one or two societies or clubs. It's a brilliant way to meet new people from all around the world and, you know, to kind of build bonds outside of your flat or your course and meet people from different walks of life. Mentioned that we have the Surrey Sports Park on our Manor Park campus. So this has the Olympic-sized swimming pool, has a fantastic gym, lots of studios, tennis courts, squash courts, and a climbing centre, basically everything you could want on a daily basis. Those sports clubs that we unfortunately can't accommodate on campus, such as skiing or horse riding or rowing, they still exist and they go off campus to train and to compete. So that is kind of our presentation, my presentation for you today. So please, can you comment in the chat box or the questions? Let me know anything you would like me to answer. Also, if there's another slide that you'd like me to revisit in the presentation, then I am more than happy to do that. So please do let me know if you've got any questions. Thank you very much. Someone's saying it was a good presentation. Was there anything that you'd like me to elaborate on or to talk about in more detail? Quite often get asked whether there are many Turkish students at the university, and there usually are around anywhere between 30 to 45 Turkish students at any one time, at least students who have applied from Turkey. We do have other Turkish students who perhaps have moved to a different country and then apply to come to university from that country. We have a great Turkish society, there's an Arabic society, if that's something of interest to you. And we do have within my team, the international student recruitment team, a couple of Turkish ambassadors who are there to support us in kind of any presentations and workshops we have at the university. So please do get in touch when you come to the university if that's a role you're interested in. Okay, so a few questions coming in now, which is fantastic. Please, can you tell us about language requirements? Okay, so on our website, we have a fantastic link, which I will put into the chat now, which will take you to our English language requirements hub on the University of Surrey website. So we accept a variety of qualifications, English language qualifications. Now, the most common is obviously IELTS. And if you are, you know, kind of looking to take IELTS at the moment, we are accepting the online version. We are also accepting for 2020 entry, the online TOEFL, Home Edition, Language Cert, and Duolingo. So those are all of the online qualifications at the moment. Sorry, if you have any questions about a specific course and the entry requirements, please do message me, email me directly after this presentation, and I will be able to help you kind of determine exactly what you would need to get from your preferred examination, whether that's IELTS, TOEFL, or something else. Someone has asked, are you going to have in-person teaching or online classes because of the current pandemic? So that is obviously a situation which is currently, ongoing in many countries across the world. So what I can say is, at the moment, for the very first semester from September to kind of just past the Christmas break, we'll be looking at the moment, a kind of a hybrid option. What that means is we will be having a mixture of online and in-person on-campus teaching. Now, as you can imagine, when it comes to seminars and workshops, it will be a lot easier to practice things like social distancing and kind of protect students and teachers in a smaller class environment. Where we might be looking at a combination of online and face-to-face teaching for at least the first month or so could be our lectures, which are already all online and available to see through a lecture capture. Now, that's what we're potentially looking at the moment, but the situation could well change, and it will depend on kind of government advice nearer the time. So although it seems like September is so close in terms of how the current pandemic is evolving and the situation around the world, actually there's still quite a lot of time to go. So we are certainly looking to have all of you on campus as soon as possible, but there will be lots of measures in place to make sure that you are safe, to make sure that the teachers and faculty staff are all safe. And that's really our priority, as well as giving you a fantastic Surrey and UK education. I've just put another link into the chat box, so please have a look there. This will take you through to our kind of coronavirus update page, which is added to and updated at least 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I've sent you the link for prospective students, and this will hopefully answer a lot more of your questions about what you can do to prepare, any differences in what Welcome Week and orientation may look like for you as new students. So please visit that link and then come back to me in the future with any further questions you have. Okay, so I have had a couple of questions about specific entry requirements for certain courses. I'm going to ask you as students to email me directly so I can speak with you one-on-one, because entry requirements for one course won't necessarily be useful to everybody else on this webinar. So if you have asked me, for example, about the admission requirements for engineering, I'll ask you to email me if that's okay at the end of this webinar, and we will speak in more detail going forward. So people have also asked several times about tuition fees and then also accommodation. So the tuition fee information for your preferred course is available on the programme page on the University of Surrey website. So dependent on whether you are interested in undergraduate, postgraduate, or PhD level study, I've put the 3 links in the chat box now. Please click on your preferred level of study, find the programme you're interested in, and the tuition fee information is available on one of the tabs. You'll also find entry requirements and all of the modules for your preferred course as well. So certainly recommend you have a look at all of the modules and topics you could be studying in your preferred subject area. Accommodation. So I've had a couple of questions. I think Diana's the most recent about individual rooms or shared rooms. So time for another link for you to find this information on our website. We have different bands of accommodation going from band E up to band band A, sorry. Band A is the most basic and is actually shared rooms, so 2 people per room. And this goes all the way up to studio flats, and we have a limited number of couples flats. The most common rooms and bands of our accommodation are bands D and E, and these are single or double bedrooms with ensuite private bathrooms. All students share kitchen space with the rest of their flat, unless they are in a studio flat. The accommodation link that I have just posted in the chat will take you to the page where you can see a list of the different bands available in our accommodation. On each band, if you click on it, you'll see more information, including photos and, more importantly, a video tour, so you can have a look at exactly what the different flats look like and what the basic rooms look like without all of your own belongings and your personal touches and kind of home decor touches to that particular space. The accommodation, just as someone else has asked, you apply for it once you have received an offer to study at the University of Surrey, and that you have either chosen Surrey to be your firm choice if you're an undergraduate student, or if you have paid your deposit if you are a postgraduate student. So once you have done that, you'll be invited to apply for accommodation, and that's done in order of preference. So your first, second, third choice room. Scholarship opportunities. We have, for our Turkish students, we have a postgraduate scholarship. So nothing at undergraduate level, I'm afraid, but at postgraduate level, there is a scholarship, the Surrey International Masters Scholarship, where if you're successful, you can get £2,500 off your tuition fees for your first year of study. So please let me know if this applies to you, and I'll give you some more information there. I'm just going to look for some more questions. Okay, someone has mentioned worrying about the second wave potentially of a pandemic in fall and this autumn. So I fully appreciate, and I think everyone appreciates, that this is a worry, and I completely understand why. All I can say is I can reassure you that the University of Surrey is putting lots of features and kind of protective measures in place to support students in case anyone should unfortunately feel ill. And hopefully this won't be the case, but there will be, we call it social distancing measures in place. There will be kind of additional space in classrooms, protective measures for both students and teachers. All of our resources are already online, so you have access to that. Our cleaning staff and support staff are incredible at their job. And then it will be, kind of taking some personal responsibility into your measures, but into how you behave on campus. But all I can say is we will be doing everything we can to support you and to make this a kind of clean and protective environment for you when you do come onto campus. So I appreciate there may be concerns, but please do refer back to the Coronavirus Prospective Students web link that I posted earlier in the chat, and hopefully that will answer your questions and really put you at ease that the university is doing everything we possibly can to look after you. And of course, I've mentioned several times that you can reach me via email going forwards. So I will now put into the chat my email address. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Let me just put it in one more time so that you can copy and paste the whole image. There you go. So if you can just copy the second link there, that has my email address. There are kind of other teams in the university that you may find can help you as well with certain questions. If you are asking about the status of your application, feel free to email me with any inquiries that you have and any questions. We also have our admissions inbox and they'll be able to help you as well moving forwards. For many of you, you'll need to take an English language test, and for some, you may need to then do a pre-sessional English course before you can start your bachelor's or master's degree. If you have any questions about pre-sessional English courses, this year they are all online, then please do email myself, and you can also email english@surrey.ac.uk, and that email address is specifically for pre-sessional English questions. So, you know, hopefully I've answered kind of all of your questions. Please do let me know now if there's anything else you'd like me to cover before we wrap up this presentation today. Okay. So Diana, are the courses included in the duration of the undergraduate programme, or are they separate? If you're talking about the pre-sessional English courses, they are separate to the duration of the programme. So they are pre-sessional, so before the course, as opposed to in-sessional courses. So we have different pre-sessional courses, different lengths. 5, 8 and 11 weeks are the courses that have yet to start. And dependent on what English language test score you have achieved would mean you'd be eligible for a particular pre-sessional English course. If you meet the English language requirements directly, then you will not need to take a pre-sessional English course. So this summer and autumn, all of the courses are online, but the pre-sessional team have done a fantastic job in making sure there is additional support for students who are learning from home, and also that classes are available at different times so that time differences around the world are catered for. So hopefully that answers that question. If you take a pre-sessional English course this autumn, but you are a postgraduate student and end up deferring for a February start, February 2021, then your pre-sessional course will be valid for a February 2021 start date, if that applies for your particular programme. Okay. And a question, am I going to travel to Turkey this summer for a vacation? Probably not for a vacation. As soon as we are able to travel again, and that is advised by our government, then I will certainly be coming back out to Turkey. When I come, I tend to go primarily to Istanbul, Ankara and Izmir, and to meet with different students face-to-face and some of our partners over there. So fingers crossed, I'll be there, if not late summer, early autumn this year. And if I don't get to see you before you come to the university in person, then we can certainly meet up when you actually arrive on campus, if you are looking to come this September. If you have any questions also between now and September, or next September that is, please do get in touch, as well as emailing me. we can always arrange for another online conversation such as this with your agent helping you, so that we can go through any questions you may have in more detail. So I'm always available for online conversations as well as email questions and answers. Okay, so I'll give a few seconds now for anyone else to ask any last minute questions. I will just repost my email address, so it is the last comment at the moment. So please do note that down and come back to me with any questions that you have. No worries, some lovely comments coming in. I'm glad you found it useful. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. Thank you for sticking with me throughout the last 40 minutes. I hope you're all well and healthy and that you stay safe. And like I said, keep in touch. We want to do everything we can to support you from this point in the application process through to you becoming University of Surrey students. So I look forward to hearing from you. And we'll, take care and keep in touch. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Emma, for your participation and great presentation. I hope to see you in Turkey very soon.
Likewise. Take care. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.